Hi folks, it's time for another Champions of Westeros final. So we are in the Winter Edition 2026 and we have two men left standing, Aljosha and Norkhal, and the game is just about to start. It was scheduled for an hour ago, but there was some confusion with the time zones, so it's scheduled for now. I did the whole introduction earlier, so I don't have the energy to repeat it really, but the players have played a few different decks in the run to the final. They both lost one game in the Swiss stage, so Aljosha started with some Tark Conclaves and then played some Stark Filthy, as you can see, and then Bara, Summer and Martell Hollow Hill in the last round, so in the cut. And Alejandro played different decks, so we have some Lenny, some Greyjoy, different agendas. Then Targ, Martell, back to Lenny, Greyjoy and Martell again. So it's a bit unpredictable. And this is always one of the key moments, waiting for which agendas will be revealed. Of course, or which decks you don't know what the opponent will play, and you are free to play any deck in any round in this tournament. And some players are kind of specialists for this format. Lucas Sabelsvens has won it 5 times, I think. Just being able to find the right deck every time. And I wonder. So my speculation earlier in that recording that I abandoned was that Alejandro might play Targaryen, since he was successful in Seven Kingdoms and he does play that more than any other faction, but then also Greyjoy Winter is an easy choice these days, and Lenny Crossing also really strong. And Aljosha, I don't know what the Targ Conclave deck is really, because there's a few different ways to play that agenda. Could be Big Dragons or could be Burn or something. I'm not sure. He could play that. He could play Stark Filthy, which is usually a good counter if you're expecting Targaryen. And then I mean, Bara Summer, I wouldn't be surprised. He played that very successfully at Stalek as well. So, are they gonna start? They are. And we join it. Yeah, some confusion with the time zones earlier. That's how it is in Europe, because we go from GMT +2 to GMT +1 and then back. Okay. Tark Free Companies against Martell Hollow Hill. Well, if I had to speculate, I would say the Tark Free Companies should have a good matchup here. Apart from Lice, I think Iron Bank can't really be touched, right? It could be a copy of Lay Waste in the deck, I guess, potentially. And yeah, there's stuff jumping in and out and going back to hand. If you have Flea Bottom, it's really good. If you have events that the event that searches for a mercenary, if you have Tyrion, okay, those things that have to stay on the board, so Tyrion, and the characters that gain renown, so Vargo, Golden Company, that's a bit more difficult, but just getting them in and out is really easy, and just doing the power challenges and avoiding the reset is pretty good. Plus Bagging Brothers, if you do have a board and Morghulis is gone, and you can at least take care of Varys, right? But the question is, what are some of the plots here? Is there close call in the Tark Free Company's deck? Sometimes there is, but often there isn't. And then if you hit uniques, it can do a lot of damage. And also, is it the Harris or Morghulis deck against Martell Hollow Hill? It would be much better to have the Harris. You don't additionally kill your own guys, and you can even play it to keep something alive into a reset. And Martell, I think the new toy, the Doom of Valyria, is usually now being tried, so I would expect that to be in the deck. That can hit Iron Bank, but it is duped, as we see. So duped Iron Bank in setup and immediately unbridled, so it will start with 4 gold. So that's kind of the dream start. We saw that in one of the Seven Kingdom games in the cut also. Which, by the way, Alejandro's team lost, so they did really well to reach the final. They dominated most of the Swiss, finished second. And I fancy their chances in the final, but yeah, it's Dark Mirror, so it's always going to be a bit uncertain who's gonna win that. Top players on both sides. Okay, all the icons. There's a card in shadows. Those are key because you have Aegon and Harry. Could have Shadow of the East as well. So I think the plan for Alejandro is just to do all the challenges he can to get all the power, right? Force Martell to do the resets. Yeah, that's not. It's not staying. And by the way, can Strong Belva save it, or does he save Unix? It's one save that potentially exists, but it's not much, right? Yeah, so do all the challenges. Of course, it is into long plan, but yeah, you can't avoid it. You have to grab the power, I think. Meereen also would be a key card to have to always have a source of draw, because at the moment maybe a Viper Eyes or two, and then you play reset and there's not much of a hand. But yeah, I mean, if that's Aegon in Shadows, he immediately gets another strong character. And 3 gold left, so he did spend the King's Road, which to me is a bit surprising, because I wouldn't expect in the opening round to there just be an Aegon bringing something into play. Aljosha's gonna take all the tempo hits here. Then usually it's from long planning to Morgulis, right? Although if it's only non-uniques and not non-duped characters, you can afford yourself maybe a coppers in between. Of course, always have a chance also that you can play Varys in between and delay your resets. Yeah, you can probably spend the gold if there's something to play, because you can expect to get it back if your only plan is to get less of the giants or something. But if you want to carry all the gold through to the next round, then yeah. Well, he takes Starfall, that can potentially minimize the damage a little bit. He can go for the one icon that only Shagwell has here, so Intrigue probably won't be done now. Only the 2 challenges that get Dawn triggers as well. Unless, of course, the event is played, or that's Harry in Shadows, but I'd be tempted to just keep that, keep that back for rainy days. You can get your 3-0 here, right, without spending those resources. Okay, he's going the other way. He's not gonna feed long plan, but that also means nothing was done. So even if there was a plan to play Varys, I mean, it doesn't matter now. Nothing grabbed renown. It's only 1-0, so that's all fine for Aljosha. And now Econ plot, so it's not Econ plot into Morgulis, it's Econ plot into Coppers, and that's yeah, now you kind of want to invest in either something that's dupable or in Meereen and other locations. If Iron Bank gets completely filled up, you can drop that Gates of the Moon potentially on Mad King's command and keep Flea Bottom and Meereen if they're in play. But also these decks kind of struggle with the gold, because they get the huge Iron Banks, but that's not gold in your gold pool, and then in challenges sometimes you need to carry through some gold for your shadows. Okay, so the moon is useful there. And there we are. Needed that Mirin. Now it's gonna be very difficult to discard all the hand, right? And Morgulis, and not have Alejandro repopulate. Okay, so in the Marine hand, if you get this event, it is kind of wasted if you don't play it, so he does play it. But then at the end of the phase, yeah, so he's first player, so he gets to decide the order, so he gets to keep the card, and he gets the elephants.
He could save it or no? The elephant.
With Golden Company.
Yeah.
Mercenary, return to hand. Yeah, he could save it. Is he going to though?
This game looks hopeless for Aljosha.
He found
It's already a bad matchup in my opinion, but I don't know.
he found all the locations right on the late summer Fister, and then with Marine Trigger found that missing flea bottom, which is pretty decent.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matkins command means you keep 3. So yeah, are you losing?
I mean, still, if you keep the loaded Iron Bank,
Yeah, but then
maybe
you're losing Gates of the Moon and King's Road, and then on your own Matkins command or whatever plot, you have exactly 3 gold. So that's gold for 1 Harry or 1 Aegon, and that's often the problem, right? You can do with that extra Gates of the Moon, I think. But yeah, he got some pretty good deals there. The question is, does he want to keep War Elephants out of play? Because if it stays in play, ha, well. What are the traits here? Spy.
next round's too early for Doom of Valyria, right?
Next round is too early, yes. Why did he marshal the informant? Oh, because there's a forced
Like
reaction.
his claim soak.
Yeah, okay. It's ambush 1, but it is forced, so. Just adjust your volume slightly. I think you're louder than usual today. There we go. And here is the Viper Eyes. So actually having 3 cards going into the plot phase might be difficult for Alejandro. So Doom of Valyria will hit, and okay, Iron Bank is there, but it will get Marine and Flea Bottom, right? And he didn't go for the power grab early, so it's on the slow side at the moment. Nothing in play has renown. I mean, anything that would have renown needs to be duped, otherwise it's useless anyway. And he got Tyrion also out of rotation.
Is there something he can do against Varys?
He could have nightmares, sure. And then he gets marched if.
Yeah.
And Aljosha doesn't have gold to cancel nightmares. I'm sure he has hand judgment. 12 cards to work with, which kind of means Alejandro might have to at some point play Matkins Command just to get those cards away, but yeah. Now he's without a board and would go from 5 to 3 locations, so 5-0, I don't know. Would feel better for him if it was 7 or 8-0. Now I has Mirin though, so can keep repeating basically that play pattern, trigger Mirin, get the couple of characters in, flip bottom the second sons or whatever, and you can do that for a long time. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just getting rid of their resources is really hard.
Can he dupe though the locations that will go for Doom of Valyria? Or finish the round with more than with 3 or more cards? Viper I spend this time. Okay, so now whoever has the advantage with Matkins Command is kind of lost it now, because they're both gone.
I think maybe the idea was to get rid of it for Alejandro, but also there's so much cards, so maybe I want to balance that.
Aljosha has 14 cards though. And not much gold to play anything on the board, so it's not the best. And I think there will be an Aegon or something like that coming from Shadows to get another card in hand at the end of the phase, so could maybe have enough to cancel Doom. Okay, so that's gonna stop any weird Lysa plays or another Varys here. It's also a character that's just gonna be going for Morghulis, I think, then. Because you don't want Begging Brother in play. Hence Judgment probably would not be kept for Matkins Command, so just cancels Unbridled. Has the loaded Iron Bank, so if he's found a couple of characters, it's nothing in the death pile, you can marshal them here. Costs him a lot though. And is there a second hand judgment? Well, if there is, it's not used. He needed that Unbridled to get the Iron Bank back up. Now it's not that healthy, honestly. It's on 3. Which means basically you can no longer trigger Marine and marshal absolutely anything you can potentially find there.
It's not too bad.
Okay, so Doom will get rid of everything except Iron Bank, and Morghulis will kill these 3. Yeah, and Gates of the Moon.
And these guys will just keep coming back. But unless he plays Counting Coppers, it's been initiative against Doom. I don't know. I guess not against Hurricane.
I don't even know. Doom is 0, right? Or something low.
It's not 0. It's not so low, I don't think. I think it's like 4 or something, maybe. Maybe I'm just making it up. I had a feeling it's more. Let me check. Okay, it's not 4, it's 2. But it's 4 in.
Seven cards he loses. Who Gates of the Moon's gone. That's the one that would have survived Doom. Is he gambling that, okay, if there's Doom I lost anyway, so let's just play as if Doom was not in the deck?
I feel like there was a better way to do it, to use the shadow cards first, before marshalling everything from hand.
Shadow cards will also just go, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, you could have used, instead of marshalling Second Sons and Dario, could have
Just done
brought out these
the
cards.
Aegon this round, yeah.
And then Aegon brings card back to hand, so if you want, you can always. Although maybe you don't want to discard this hand anyway, but I think you would, because Marine and Flea Bottom stayed. That's.
Okay, do we have Last of the Giants? I mean, there's a Banging Brother, so nothing too damaging can come in, I think.
Sound better now?
Yes,
Okay.
or maybe not.
I mean, then it has to be you, because I'm on my phone now.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just stop.
No, it's fine. It's not that bad. I'm just it's not as good as usual. Mm. Okay, just triggers it. Okay, wasn't gonna get assaulted, so nothing comes in, but there's a free vengeance potentially. Ah, you can take this guy. Harry was the last card in hand. And a slightly weak Secret Skins, but it's something. So Flea Bottom at the moment has quite a few things it can do. Also, but none of that's needed, so just get military and then unopposed power. Filling up Aljosha's hand in the process, but it will be 9 in, right? And then potentially disaster for Alejandro and some good top decking needed, unless he has a counterplot.
So, if he has counting coppers, he didn't play Maiden or anything like that. But he could have you win or you die. No, he can't because of Aegon, right?
He could have return to the fields, sack all 3, then sack the
Yeah,
hand,
that.
and you keep only locations.
How much initiative on return?
Ooh, that's the Iron Bank dupe now, right? Yeah.
How much initiative does return have?
I think 6.
Okay. Yeah, then he has to have it.
I mean, that would be really good for him. That would be really good because with Marine and flea bottom you can play.
Yeah, but if he doesn't, I think that was like a bit of a waste. Previous round could have been done better. Try to get cards in hand and use the shadow instead.
Aljosha could Morgulis instead. Ooh, okay. So
Okay,
now
nice.
return to the fields. So now it's just top decking. He played the econ plot, so if he finds stuff, it's good for him. If he doesn't, I think it's okay. Aljosha will then also have to play Morgulis. Okay, some March protection here. But yeah, claim into March. So Morgulis march to the wall and what, another coppers or siege prep for
Usually
Aljosha.
on copper thread.
And Alejandro has for sure march to the wall, one of the resets, and then one of those plots that could be anything. I mean, Brand the Builder usually is in the deck. You think he'd play that and try to find dupes though. Got all the locations, but yeah, if you can't counter Doom, Sunday
I mean, I
gone
feel
as
like
well.
he could have in a way, but we don't know if there was some Viper Ice and stuff to be played. But if you keep all cards in hand and if you have Aegon in Shadow, was it Aegon in Shadow actually? Or it's two Harrys? Was it? Okay,
To Harris?
I see.
No, it doesn't actually display it in the log.
Yeah, but there's no Aegon in discard pile, so it has to be the two Harrys. All Harrys in discard pile.
Okay, another econ plot. Top decking again. Well, another both have marches still left. Ooh, that's a good one to find. You can't marshal everything now, and then you go into the penultimate plot with two loans affecting the gold.
And the last plot is still affected by loans, or no?
No, the last one they'll be back in the plot deck. So, but the next one still is. Next one will be basically a non-plot if it's not another giant econ plot. Yeah, this is basically a very common game against this Martell reset control where in the late game you're just trying to find something. I played last weekend in the Friendly Open, played two myself against Martell Hollow Hill and was trying to squeeze that last bit of power when they started to take control, but I was on like 12 or 13, right? And you just need to find something, and for one round for them not to have all the answers. But from 9 to 15 is quite a long way. This deck can rush really hard, but it does so when it has the resources.
But finding Tyrion, that's really good after Morgulis as well.
Nothing is dying to Venomous Blade. And Tyrion has the hairy target. Dario's there, Second Sons is there, Elephants is there, Golden Company, so that's pretty decent. What is his reset? If it's Morgulis, then that's rough. Plus there's March to the Wall for sure for Aljosha. 7 gold to work with. He has how many escorts? 1 escort to work with if he wants it.
I thought he would play March now,
Yes, I did as
you know.
well.
But I guess he wanted to also marshal his characters. Maybe he's gonna marshal Nymeria and stuff like that. Because if he had still Morgulis than Tyrion, you know. And now you can even put oh, you can't, right? Tyrion's only mercenary, yeah, okay. If you flip bottom, you could put some begging brothers and stuff like that.
Is there any mercenary on the other side? No, but there could be a tattered prince in the deck. There usually is one. Well,
Yeah, but Tether Prince then goes back into your shadow if Tyrion takes it. Oh, but I mean, that
no,
would
it
be
would
anyway.
go to the bottom anyway. Before that, Aljosha still digging a bit, so he could get maybe if there's nothing else, there's gonna be the escort, and just try to oppose everything.
The problem is that all these cards, escort, this spy trader, they'll get taken by Dario, and then you don't have claim soak,
Hmm.
so you can only oppose a little bit.
Yeah, there's one Dario.
Yeah.
So one round you can do that, and then it will go, unless he has some other tricks. But with 0 gold he can't. It will go to the bottom.
Yeah, having 0 gold, that's a bit hard. I mean, just 0 econ and 2 loans,
Yeah.
you know.
Bastard daughter. Is he gonna marshal the escort or keep the 2 gold? There was another Varys, by the way, earlier discarded, so there's one removed and one in the discard pile. So I think we're done with the Varyses, most likely. But yeah, I think March still on both sides, and then one of the Valars for 100. Not necessarily the case though. I played when we were in Budapest last weekend. I played against Tark free companies that had no Valars in the deck, had 2 marches. Honestly, that would be an even bigger disaster at this point. Okay, so Villeneuve will just, I think, if Varios comes in, he will just disable him. No power icon though, so yeah, but no power to steal either, so it's just an unopposed like any other. And now he's actually over reserve. Yeah, he didn't enjoy exactly having water gardens and especially Starfall discarded himself for Doom of Valyria, but much better than what Alejandro lost. Okay, so I think now you wait with Willem for the Tyrion trigger, right? Yeah. Anything better he can do? I mean, anything with renown that comes in is not sticking. He can put the intimidate. Is there the intimidate? Yeah, he can put intimidate in if he wants. Is that achieving anything? Something gets claimed, something gets intimidated. It's not really getting any more unopposed than you are already getting, I think. And if he brings a military monocon, then Villeneuve could just take Tyrion's icons, and then you do unopposed military, and that's it. No power gained at all. It's just gonna do military first, which I think will be defended by Bastard Daughter. Missandei in hand? Is she alive, by the way? She got killed by Venomous Blade. Okay, so 2 cards will be going now. Okay. Anything that's a mercenary, of course, is a trigger for Tyrion, and Vargo is now also available. Not ideal to put him in here, but he is available. And Lysa Pillaged also is pretty good for Alejandro because she is quite damaging now on small boards, and Begging Brothers all gone. Actually, they're in the discard pile, right? One is anyway, so gone is a bit of an overstatement sometimes with free companies. I think he will do the power, right? Get to 10. One closer. Does he want to do anything with Tyrion? I mean, you can use free companies to refill him. You can also just use free companies to get him to 2 gold, but if you're not triggering him, there's a decent chance he will not stick. He gets removed in some way. So he hasn't done intrigue yet. Okay, you can bring Harry, right? There's 3 Harrys, so you can do Harry every round. What does he do though? Stands
I
Tyrion
think
and
the
gives him
problem with
another
Harry,
icon.
the problem with Harry is not standing like a renowned guy every round. It's a bit of a waste, but honestly, he's very close already. If he can get
If he can avoid getting Tyrion marched, he still has a chance here.
I mean, still has a chance as if he's not winning massively at the moment.
And now there will be power to steal after this round from Aljosha's faction card. I mean, you say he's winning. I mean, he's winning on power, but he has 0 resources and horrible
Will
econ,
there be
so...
power to steal?
And Begging Brother could have been very useful for Tyrion's ability, actually. But there was no goal to get it into play.
Maybe Aljosha would just do military.
Yeah, but
Harry has to defend, but he's gonna go back.
he'll get unopposed, I think. Yeah. And then dominance is tied.
Oh yeah, because Harry goes away anyway. Yeah. So do you still play Stranger here? That would be pretty
You
good.
can't play everything, right? So...
You can if you like.
Oh, okay. That's marching Tyrion. Well, if his last plot is Morghulis, that keeps him alive at least. But yeah, Tyrion here was some kind of chance to go from 10 to closer to victory before having to
And
play
this
that
round is
Morghulis.
actually no gold left.
Hmm.
And just even keeping Gates of the Moon on the Mad King, I think.
Yeah.
It can give him a better chance.
But that, I mean, that lay waste on Iron Bank also was... I said at the start of the game that I don't know if you can really get rid of Iron Bank. And then I mentioned, okay, maybe there is a copy of Lay Waste and Doom. And that's exactly what happened. He found that when he needed it. It was kind of a telegraphed Doom, so if he had counterplay, if he had Return to the Fields, it wouldn't have worked.
I mean, clearly he didn't have Return to the Fields.
No. And now that 10-1's going much closer.
Just think there is also maybe a better way to play around it, potentially.
Yeah. Possibly. We said, okay,
Don't
he
know
got a really
actually
good
what it is.
Marine trigger to find that flea button, had everything, but actually it wasn't that great, right? Because what he needed was the dupes.
And the number is okay, there is no loan anymore, but still just 2 gold. Not that much you can do. You can't bring out of shadow whatever you have, and you can't
and there's no drop lot, right? So we had 2 loans and late summer feast, and was it the gates opening? Margulis
I don't know.
March.
I think return is so good in the free companies deck. So
Aljosha actually does very little here. One of those events, now that he's discarded Hand's Judgment for reserve, could get Alejandro going again, but yeah, he's not gonna do that on a 0 claim plot anyway. Just hope that whatever is playable there is not getting discarded. Okay, another character. He can play the econ plots again now. Aljosha's just gonna try to keep this guy in play. Doesn't bestow 2. I don't think he's getting to 15 in one round, is he? Or he might, I mean, it's up to 10.
could have just bestowed 2. I mean,
Yeah.
what you gonna do with the last gold?
Aljosha has drawn quite a bit, down to 19 cards left, and with no setup. And 23 for Tark free companies, honestly, is not bad.
Also, yeah, I was gonna say not bad for Targ.
Aljosha put so much back for Matkins command, 7 cards, so he actually drew more than that. Uses the reducer.
He doesn't have like unlimited gold anyway.
Yes, but any character, although we know that there was a Venomous Blade, just we had a few rounds where it could do nothing, but I think it must be still in hand. So that guy's gone anyway.
Tyrion's back.
Is good. If it was still 10-0, that would be pretty good, but it's now 10-8 for Aljosha. Tyrion plus potentially Aegon there. Can get a lot of board.
Yeah.
But then again, Tyrion's icons go with Shadow City Bastard. Then Aegon brings in what? Aegon brings in another character, and Tyrion's
You
ability
can
can
bring
bring
in
in
Dario.
even the Intimidate again or whatever, Vargo. So yeah, I can't...
Dario can take Prince.
keeps all the gold. That one begging brother that he lost to reserve would be so useful for most of the tricks Dark Free Companies has. So Dario, if he wins the challenge, does actually quite a bit of damage with that Tether Prince there. What is the 8 gold for? Is it for 2 Dornish Spice? They don't really work entirely though, because there's still Harry. He can come in and give an
Give
icon.
icon back.
You could let Alejandro, okay, he has the event as well, so he has everything now. You could let him do the challenges, and then if you do have some ambush, just strike back as best as you can. Morgul is not pinned for Aljosha, so these are not sticking if he tries to bestow and keep them in play.
Actually, he could. Could he? So, what does Tyrion say?
What does he say? He brings a mercenary in from the discard pile. He still hasn't
I
been
just
used.
think he could somehow keep Darius dupe in play if he brings it in with Tyrion, but I don't think But if he brought Daria in play with Tyrion, it doesn't work out, does it?
I don't think it matters that much because it's not getting from 8 to 15 here and keeping characters in
No, but
play.
if he could keep dupe the Daria in play, that would be.
Oh no, he can't do that.
No, I
That
was
would
thinking
be
because it,
magic.
brings. Yeah, but it doesn't work out.
So one
That.
renown here plus unopposed. He takes Tattered Prince, so he gets to 11 automatically. Then if he does power, that's 12, and two of his characters has renown. Okay. Yeah, I think that was pretty key. He would have actually been close to 15, but okay. We know also that okay, he's used here that there's some vengeances and burning on the sand and stuff to reduce a little bit of the power gain. Okay, he's gonna stand Dario. So now he has 3 characters with renown plus power claim. That's 13, and he takes Tattered Prince. That would be 14. Shadow City Bastard is usable to stop one of them from doing anything, from doing something. Yeah. So which one's staying, if any? I mean, okay, Golden Company can get gold as well. Agenda's still standing. So Dario's going to hand, Golden Company is going to hand, and Harry's going to the bottom. So Harry's not savable, so you can let him get renown and it doesn't hurt you. The other two are savable by Golden Company if it gets gold. But then they are also killable by Morgulis, but Alejandro can play an econ plot, and whatever goes back to hand gets remarshaled, so uses it on Golden Company. Don't think there's a way to get unopposed if Tattered Prince defends. Dario can stand Tattered Prince, right? And military hasn't been done yet. How close is he to just getting a win here with this giant tempo play, cheating everything in? No hand, got Tyrion and the event and Aegon, so that it's gone pretty well, but if it's not 15, plus still 4 gold for Aljosha. Haven't seen any Dornish spies yet. Does he put the 2 rounds into a power challenge here? Well, Puts Dario and Aegon in. Keeps Harry there. I assume the last card's not superior claim, so he's gonna take the Tattered Prince to his side now. He is. And has 2 renounce on the military, so if he could get that unopposed, which he can't, it's gonna be short either way, and then of course Tattered Prince will be lost. Also Aljosha can't do challenges back because Tattered Prince gets killed. Okay. Counting whether he needs to play the Dornish Spy if it's in hand or not. I think he wasn't going to lose. So I'm slightly surprised he spent this. But okay. And he can hit the last card now with the Intrigue challenge. That will be unopposed, and then Dominance, and we are again tied. Both players still some way away. Alejandro with a much better board than the bigs now, which he has to decide, of course, what to do with Golden Company. But Aljosha with a full hand. And way more econ. But also doesn't really want to play a zero claim plot, right? Just to get rid of the board on the other side. He then can't do any damage again, and Alejandro can top deck his way out of trouble. Finishes challenges, nothing bestowed with the agenda. So at the moment, Golden Company is not saving anything. Ooh, was Mirin there. Okay. Well, he had a really good round to be fair, but that does some work if it's in play. Again, we are 2 rounds away from, so next round can't do Doom, but then you can Doom again if you need to. So they go back to hand, and Tyrion's the one's gonna be bestowed. If you play Morghulis to kill Tyrion, okay, what do we have here? So brings Titan's Bastard in. We'll try to return something now to hand to be marshaled. Which one though? Something cheap? No, Dario. Okay. So we have 2 Darios and the Golden Company in hand, right? And 1 loan in the used pile. So the best you can do is play loan, where you will have 9 gold. So that's enough gold for that Dario and nothing else. What does Aljosha do? If he has icon control or some kind of control anyway, secret pack or something, he could Morghulis and then deal with Dario. march him as well if needed later. But if he doesn't, he's losing his tattered prince here as well. With his power. I don't know what he can do really. This deck doesn't win if you start playing the challenges game and keep boards, right? Even if you get a couple more of these Dornish spies and so. It's really dodgy. Okay, he Murgulises and he's gonna deal with Dario, the best of his ability. And Tyrion getting killed is really good for him either way. Not enough gold even with the King's Road to get Dario and Golden Company. So if it's just Dario, it's not gonna be enough.
It's no close call, right?
No close call. Now it's not even that beneficial to get Dario duped because if it's just Dario he gets marched. Keep the other one in hand instead. But if the plan is to get your character marched, then it may as well be Golden Company. It's slightly more easier to control it with Shadow City Bastard, but has a power icon. Yeah, no time limit on this one. If there was, this would be the last round.
Maybe the play was have gates at the gates previous round, but then it would be a much worse score for him. Because the Econ thing not very sustainable, is it?
Yeah. So if he can get one character, which one does he get? The power icon, right?
You should try to get two at least. You get the power icon and the chart. That would be ideal, I think.
Okay. So flea bottom, let's see the situation there. That's slightly less useful at the moment than other cards. So he can get Begging Brother if something needs to be cancelled, or he can get the big Second Sons power icon. There's a couple of other options as well. So decent chance of doing power successfully. Misty Morn, what's that grabbing? Icon control. Yeah. So there goes that plan to do power. Can try Banging Brother, but actually with 0 gold it doesn't work out, does it? You can put it into play and then there's an action window for Aljosha before you can bestow it. 16 cards left in the deck though for Aljosha. He's stuck on 10 with a 0 claim plot.
I don't think there's any what's it called? Citadel Archivist to be discarded.
He does, however, have Doom next round again, you know? Okay, there's at the moment 3 cards in hand, but Flea Bottom would go for Doom, and he could keep everything except that Iron Throne. That would be amusing. think the plan more realistically now is march to the wall. Do we have any escorts? One. Okay, needs to trigger now the Dornish spy before this one gets bestowed. Or trigger the Shadow City Bastard. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll just use it to oppose. So if he triggers it, it will just lead to unopposed power regardless, right?
I think if he has the other, the door is fine. Just for her.
Well, he does have Dornish Spy, we know that, because he took it for Misty Moor, and he also played in Doran's name for 2 gold, which is more than you need for Dornish Spy, so he might have other tricks. I think the play is just to pass and oppose the 2 challenges. Could even then bring your ambush in to do unopposed challenges yourself. Still 2 copies of Dario in hand, but now no loan, and Light Summer Fist is exactly enough for that 1 Dario, right? And nothing else. Can Doom though now, with 3 cards in hand, so... There's that. Okay, he is playing the round out in his head, probably. I think the play is not to bother triggering anything. I mean, you could trigger Dornish Spy, if anything, right? You're not gonna trigger Shadow City Bastard. You could target one of the non-power icons, because that actually will stop one of the challenges from happening. Alternatively, defend to the best of your ability, then march Golden Company and keep the Dornish Spy for Dario next round. Okay. Takes the power icon. Well, I don't know. I don't think that was an amazing plan. This guy might just do military now. But then again, could have vengeance. No, okay, Bastard Daughter. Is it hitting Dario? It's not hitting anything because Begging Brother cancels. Makes sense, it was going. That was its last chance to do anything. And now, okay, 0 claim for Aljosha unless he has choosing the spear, which by the way, usually there is a copy of that in these decks. That would just kill them off here. "14 cards left." Needs to squeeze 6 more power out somewhere. He can get 2 here, unopposed challenge and dominance, and then 4 more. Should be doable. I mean, 0 claims, so it doesn't really matter which one he does, unless he had. I mean, even choosing the spear, I guess, kills Begging Brother. It would be 1 claim, right? Because it's 0 on the plot, so Begging Brother was going. What did he need the gold for? Oh. Anything for 0 gold? Sweet Slip or something? No. Oh, it's. Oh, okay, it says Pippin does not find any cards. That's just a bug in the log, I guess. Thought for a moment he was discarding something that was stolen. Okay,
You know,
so
I think
March, right?
that's. Mhm.
Ooh,
Why? Is March pinned actually? No, it's not.
no. Coppers is pinned, right? I mean, he had such an advantage with these locations.
That's unusual to me.
And now we're gonna get Dario. Okay.
Why? I don't get that.
Did he misclick?
Maybe he has like icon control into choosing the spear, but there's two. I don't know.
I mean, he could have icon control into just winning the game, that's the thing, right? If he keeps Shadow City Bastard and uses it on Golden Company,
Yeah,
so
but
he's already
what? I
getting
mean, he's not
unopposed
losing.
power.
Alejandro's not losing anything for Mad King, so
Yeah.
I don't get it. Is he worried about getting milled himself?
I don't know, this is doing nothing that March wouldn't have also done, right?
I mean, he's not doing anything at all.
Dorne Spy would have been marched and he can still have these 3. Okay. Meg the Mighty. Does that help?
Darius still stays.
And this is gonna be opposed, but then you get power with the little guy that you don't have to sack. Why is the escort also attacking? Is he afraid of a strain boost?
Choosing the spear, maybe? I guess the wind is passed.
Is he gonna kill the escort? Because Meg has renown and intimidate now, right? So he intimidates. If it's not properly defended, well, actually, there's no way to stop it, right? He
Either
intimidates
way.
Dario and then does the other 2 challenges. That would be enough, right? Even without that, I think he could. Okay, not gonna be opposed. I think that's just game then. But it was either way, even if he didn't have this plan, he could have done then that extra intrigue into Dario, who would have to defend, and then you win with dominance, regardless, I think. So, unless there's something good in hand still, this should be enough to close. But I don't think he needed Matkins' command to do it. Alejandro was
Yeah, I
not gonna
think
get.
March was the better
Yeah,
option.
was not gonna get more than 3 characters into play here. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So that round 1 where he didn't want to attack into long plan and got Varys anyway. He could have squeezed a couple of power there, but of course you give cards and gold away. And yeah, he could have
I know
been
if
a
there
bit
was
more
a way
lucky
to.
with finding dupes for those locations that were hit, right? But
If there
apart
was
from
a
that,
better way to play around the Doom, but I don't know.
uh, I don't see what you can do if you don't have plots. I mean, this deck, one thing it doesn't do well is to keep a big hand, right? That you can just discard for them. It never can do that really.
But
So
maybe keeping those gates, you know, that the eco is not so horrible.
yeah, could have done that. But what does he lose? He wasn't gonna lose Mirin or Flea Bottom if he could help it, right?
I
But yeah,
mean,
if he knew for a fact that Doom was there, then you just
but
let
you do
one of them
kind of
go.
know realistically, right?
Yeah, but I said at the time maybe he's just gambling that it's not there because you're gonna have a really
Yeah.
difficult game if it is there. And to be fair, he had that one round where he did a lot to almost threaten the win, so could have worked out a
And
little bit.
if there was Aegon in Shadow, actually, I think that you could play around them, but I guess there wasn't. Two Harris, not the best. But he had everything else, so I don't think he can complain either.
Mm.
Either way, congratulations to Aljosha on winning.
Hmm. So I think his first for sure his first Champions of Westeros. He has I checked earlier 4 champion titles. I think the biggest one so far was that King at the Wall that he won in 2024. Where is that? Here with Targ Brotherhood. But this one is probably now the biggest one. So we had how many? 80 players in this one, and really good competition. Of course, when you get to the top games. So yeah, that is the last thrones we have. I think well, there's a friendly open tomorrow and next weekend as well, where probably there won't be any videos. And then the next time we see each other will be the World Cup, which is coming up. So that could be really exciting. And as usual, of course, there's a week or two of a break between seasons for Champions of Westeros, but then the new one starts already, which will be the spring edition, and the registration link is the same as always, but I'll post it in the description of the video anyway. Yes, I think that's all we had for you today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.
Bye bye.